Hey honey, when will you be coming back? I'll be out in an hour. These guys are just not stopping with their good games. My back is starting to hurt. You should join the gym. It'll keep you healthy. I keep telling you this. I think you're right. This back pain is getting out of hand now. Or I can do one thing. I can set up my gym in the house. And where will you do it exactly? Maybe in the basement. There is plenty of space there. What about the consistent staircase? Do you think you can shift all those equipment there? I won't be getting a lot of things, just a treadmill and a few weights. Sounds like a plan. I was thinking of starting jogging too. Wanna join me? Happily, my love. Great. I was talking to one of my friends and she suggested to me her diet chart, which is perfect for us. It's full of proteins with low-calorie food, and there are even some recipes added which can be made into a delicious full-course meal. Wow, that's special. For a second I thought we'd be living on green veggies and eggs only. We both know we'd fail that. True. By the way, did you hear anything from Tiff? Is she coming here for Christmas? I did, but I don't think she'll be able to make it. Oh, what's wrong? Oh, it's the same. She may have to attend a few parties with Gail and all, and then they have John, so yeah. That Gail really is keeping my daughter under his command. Hey, now, they are married and it's not like he's forcing her into doing this. I know, but isn't it too much? It's been for years, but she hardly comes to visit us anymore, and it's all because Gail said this, Gail said that. So I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, but I'll be staying put up at my home, 100 miles away from you too. Honey, you know they have a family now, and they are working together, so it must be hard for them to get any breaks. But she hasn't seen us in 2 years. I haven't even seen my grandson, and it's sad. That's all. I miss them. I know, I'm hurt too, but let's be patient, okay? When she gets some time, I'm certain she'll come to see us. I'm not gonna expect anything from her, but okay, whatever. It's okay, Kevin. Yeah, I guess it is. In fact, we will have to be okay. Yeah, now come back home and get some rest, okay? I'm sure you must be tired. Yeah, we'll be out in a few minutes. I can't stand there chit-chat anymore. I need some good sleep. Good. I'll be done with dinner by the time you reach. Okay, see you soon, honey. Love you. Love you too. A few days later. Hey, Mom. What's up? How are you guys doing? Hey, sweetie. I'm good, but your dad currently has severe back pain. He's planning to set up a gym in the basement, but his body is not complying with it. Oh my God. Did he again play golf with his friends for 4 hours? He had to, and this time it was with some of his chatty colleagues. Why does he keep doing this, huh? He'll be retiring soon, but he's still going to such gatherings. He is now a senior who is admired by a lot of newbies in his office. He's asked to set up an example for them and teach them more about the company. And while we both know he's tired of doing the office work, it's more or less become a habit of his. I'm worried for him, really, and you as well. It must be hard keeping up with such a stubborn man, eh? I love him for who he is, sweetie, and even though I've my share of complaints, he does everything in his power to keep me happy, even at this age. He's a flawed yet kind man who makes me feel loved every day, and he did the same for you. If only he was kind enough towards my husband. Sweetie, you know that's not the truth. He loves you guys. He hates Gail, Mom. Don't try to hide the truth. Well, hate is a strong word. He just finds him a little unlikable. And honestly, he has his valid reasons. We are not able to see you mostly because of his work. Mom, I'm a grown woman and a wife and a mother, and it's not like I listen to every word my husband says to me. I make my own choices now. So you're telling us it's your choice that you don't want to see your parents anymore? It's been more than 2 years and all we get to see is your face through a screen. Mom, it's hard, okay? Work is killing us, and now that John is growing up, we have to be extra attentive. But we also want to see our daughter and our grandson. It's not like we are living the liveliest of lives out here. We miss you, and your dad may never say it to you up front, but he misses you more than me. I know what I'm saying right now may sound too unreasonable because you are now an independent woman with her own family, but sometimes it's just hard to keep these emotions in check. I know you have your husband who is mostly the reason why you choose to not visit us, but that shouldn't be it, right? And as for Gail, just like you talked about your father, you know he was the first one who made it clear that he'd like to keep his distance from us. He was the one during the wedding reception where he nonchalantly just insulted your father, saying how controlling he was, and it took him so much time to convince us when that was not even the case. Mom, that was a joke and no one took it seriously then. It was only you two who got all grumpy and then treated Gail like he was wearing the invisible cloak. It started even before that, but you never try to see it from our perspective. He doesn't even let John talk to us. If this is why you're talking to me, then seriously, I'm not interested. I'm not gonna dig old graves and explain every detail about my husband's behavior when you guys also acted like jerks to him. I texted you because I wanted you guys to call over for the Christmas party. And surprise, Gail was the one who asked me to invite you guys over. I believe that it makes it clear that the bad guy in your book is actually the good guy. Don't say it like you're doing us a favor, Tiffany. I am not. You are just taking it the wrong way. Okay, I'm sorry for what I said. A lot is going on in my head, Mom, and I sometimes forget how to react. Work is exhausting, and so is doing all the domestic work. I sometimes want to quit, but by doing so, I'll put Gail in a tough spot. In this economy, just having one working person who can financially support the family is not enough. I get it. It's fine. I shouldn't be dumping all my concerns over you all at once either. I'm sorry, sweetie. It's okay. And please, if possible, let's celebrate Christmas together this year. We're not attending those other parties either. I hate to see you guys all distant when you are my family. I'll let your father know. And tell him to be good to Gail, please. He will. He's not a monster, you know. Yes. Love you, Mom. Love you too, Tiff. Take care and talk to your father if you get some time. If I do, I'll give him a call. Bye. Bye. When Mary told me about the whole Christmas plan at Tiffany's place, I answered a little reluctantly. For the last 4 years, never have we been invited to her place, let alone her husband, Gail being the one to propose the idea of us having there. I know he considers us a nuisance, and why wouldn't he? Tiffany is our only child. We have raised her with love and care, and when the time came to send her off with some unknown man, it made my heart clench. But what was more concerning was the man himself. I won't say I hate Gail, it's just his mannerish and his personality which never clicked with me. Tiffany's upbringing was good. She got everything she ever asked for. We never suffered from any financial crisis. But when she brought Gail into the house, I knew something was suspicious about him. Though, because he was my daughter's boyfriend back then, I helped him out with his career, introduced him to some of my good friends, and that was how he landed his first major job. I never asked for any credit, but Gail had the intention to make me appear as the bad guy in front of my daughter. That was when we first got into our major fight, where I was the bully and that Brad Gale was the victim. The story panned perfectly in his favor when he told my daughter that I looked down on him, and well, my relationship with Tiffany soared. They got married soon after, which in itself was quite a disaster for me and my wife, but I moved past those incidents. Before all this, Tiffany and I had a good relationship. Yes, I was the overprotective father, but I just couldn't help it. She's too good for this world, and I wanted to protect my daughter from all the evils in this world, though she wanted to be free of me. She felt suffocated, and I understood that. 3 years ago, when I heard she wanted to adopt their first child, I was ecstatic. But Gail, even though he acted excited, he didn't seem happy at all. Once Jonathan came into our lives, I couldn't help my tears. He was 7 months old then, and that was when I decided I wanted to be part of that boy's life. I was his grandpa, but I was an eyesore to my son-in-law. One day, I overheard him talking to someone on his phone about how upset he is with his wife's decision, that he wanted his own blood as his son and not some dumpster child. That was the second major clash between us, but again, my daughter didn't believe me and sided with her husband. That was when she chose to stop visiting us frequently. I didn't know what to do, but Mary convinced me that I leave them be, and if she ever comes to us for anything, we will always gladly accept her with open arms. a week before the party.
I called Dad.
And?
They're coming. He agreed.
That's great to hear. I was afraid they were gonna refuse.
They won't. I managed to convince Dad. He sounded happy. It was nice talking to him. I miss him, you know, a lot.
I know, babe. I know how much you miss him every day.
If only things hadn't gotten so messy, everything would have been normal between us. John would have been closer to his grandparents. I mean, he does have your parents, but Mom and Dad, I hope things get better after this.
I'm hoping for that too. But seriously, I don't know how your father is going to react again this time. He really doesn't like me.
Don't worry, he isn't going to say anything to you. And please, you need to be careful too.
Hey, he's the one who's like an ass.
Don't say it, please. He has changed, but if you say all this, it will only make things worse.
Got it. I'm sorry. I hope he isn't gonna bring any misunderstandings with him though.
He won't. Be safe on your way back, okay? And get that Hot Wheel set for John. He has been asking for it for so long.
I'll see if I can find them.
Let's spend some time with him this weekend now that we got our breaks from the office. He seems a little lonely and, well, I'm worried for him.
I don't know, Tiff. I gotta work this weekend though. Too much paperwork is pending and, well, my team is full of newbies who don't give two shits about their job.
Oh, I see.
I'll talk to him, I promise, and I'm gonna get him a nice gift this year.
Let's do that.
Okay then. See you soon. Love you.
Love you too.
2 days before the party. Tiff, can you send me your address? I just ordered Jonathan's Christmas present and just wanted to double check your home address.
Oh, sure, Dad.
Tiffany sends her address. Thank God, it was correct.
What did you order for him?
Oh, a space shuttle set. It was a limited edition, but luckily I found it. Don't tell him, okay?
Oh my! How did you know he was interested in space?
Well, the last time I talked to Jonathan, he was telling me a lot about stars and astronomy. He sounded interested in that.
He is actually. He discovered it a few months ago and he fell in love with the whole concept of space. We even got him a few children's books and an encyclopedia about it.
That's amazing. If he continues to study more about it, who knows? He may someday dream of going to NASA.
Let's see what he chooses. He's just 4 right now.
Right, he can become anything he wants.
Yeah, he's really excited to see you guys.
So are we. But what about you?
Me too. I miss you guys a lot.
We do too.
I'm sorry, Dad.
Hey now, shush. Once I'm there, let's talk a lot. And let's try not to fight, okay?
Okay, take care, Dad.
You too, my princess. Take care. The day when we got there, seeing Tiffany made both me and Mary cry. We were so happy to see her, and Gail stood beside her giving us his smile, which looked very much pretentious to me, but I seriously wasn't in the mood to think of such things and ruin my night. We were going to stay there and I had the chance to finally spend some time with my grandson. Jonathan looked so excited as he hopped in our arms. Before dinner, I went to his room to play with him for some time. Gail's parents were not able to come, so it was just us 5 in the house. Once dinner was served, we went downstairs. The food was amazing, but something big was waiting for us. Tiffany announced that she was pregnant, and all of us jumped in excitement. However, from the corner of my eyes, I noticed Jonathan staring at an ecstatic Gail who held Tiff in his arms. He looked sad, but didn't say anything and started acting his usual self soon enough. As the night came to an end, Jonathan asked me to play with him before going to bed. I happily joined, but once I got in the room, he hugged me right as I heard small sniffles coming from him.
Dad is going to replace me now,
he cried in my arms. I was shocked, but I didn't know how to respond. Slowly, I stooped to his height and gently caressed his back. Why? What's wrong, my son?
He hates me. He doesn't call me his son.
I didn't need to hear anything else. Pulling him away, I wiped away his tears. Why do you say that?
He says I'm not his blood, and that if I tell Mom about this, he will throw me back to the dumpster.
If only I could rush out of the room and smack that man then and there, I would have. But my hands were bound. I didn't have any proof, and I couldn't ask Johnny to advocate for me. He was a child, and my relationship with Tiff is still rocky. But still, I will not let anything happen to my grandson, ever.
Grandpa, am I a dumpster child?
My eyes welled up as I cupped that little boy's innocent face in my palms. He does not deserve such treatment. No, Jonathan, you are your mother's angel. Isn't that what she calls you? The boy nodded, smiling softly. I brought him close before pressing a soft kiss on his forehead. Next time, if Daddy says anything or hurts you in any way possible, tell me and Mom. We will talk to him, okay? He shook his head, content with my half-hearted concern. I felt terrible, as if I was giving him false hope, but there was more to this story, and I was not ready to gamble on everything yet. At midnight, when I was out of my room to get some water, I saw a silhouette of a man in the backyard, burning something. As I went to check, the man was gone, but the thing which was burning, I saw it and was shaken to my core. It was the present I had ordered for Jonathan, which, as per Gail, was about to be delivered in a few days. The next morning, when Jonathan came to open his presents, mine was not there. That's when Gail started this bullshit about how I must have given the wrong address. He was taunting me, saying how I didn't want to give their son anything, because I don't consider him family. Tiffany looked upset, and Johnny sad. But I was infuriated. He even said that I was filling his son's head with nonsensical facts about him last night. That was when I finally opened my mouth, and what came out next led to a full-blown verbal fight. What was supposed to be a happening morning turned out into an ugly family squabble. I told him how he was the one who discriminated against Jonathan, and how he called him a dumpster child. Tiffany and Mary asked me to calm down, but I was not done yet. From my room, I brought the ashes of the space shuttle and the burnt package piece, which my son-in-law burned last night, to make me look like the villain. Everyone was shocked, especially Tiffany, but it was not for me to tell her what she needs to do in her life. She was already a mother, and it was high time she saw how much his son was suffering. By the next 30 minutes, I was out of the house with Mary. She never left my side, but deep down, I knew I just broke my daughter's family. Honestly, I wanted this Christmas to be a good one. I wanted everyone to be happy, but life had other plans, and now it was my daughter's turn to choose what was right for her and her son.